Amy, do you know how firemen put out fires?
With water?
What if, though, they fought fire with fire?
Wouldn't that just make more fire?
Well, this anime says otherwise.
What's with the whole glasses thing?
I thought it was dramatic. just go past the intro.
Okay.
So, Amy, what anime are we reviewing today?
Today is going to be about Fire Force Season 1.
Fire Force. So, Fire Force is an anime about fighting fire with fire. And how does it start?
It starts with, I believe his name is Shinra.
Shinra,
Yes, he is at a station and he experiences like somebody who combusts into flame on one of the trains, and the Fire Force comes in to take care of it.
So combustion in this case is about people literally just randomly catching fire. And so people turn into these demon-esque things, and they call the fire department or the Fire Force to come and punch out the fire or light it on fire to stop the fire, which makes sense, really.
And they have fire powers.
They're pyrokinetics.
Helps them, yes.
Yes. Not everyone has pyrokinetics, though. Do you remember like the classes and all that stuff? Or generations?
Well, I know that second generation can manipulate the fire.
Yeah.
And I know that the third generation can make fire. Does that mean first generation just has that?
I don't think they even talk about the first generation. Maybe the first generation are cavemen that discovered fire. But essentially, Shinra is a third generation fire soldier. They call them soldiers, like it's a war. And so he can make fire with his feet, and he shoots around like a rocket everywhere and punches people.
And he's part of the Company 8.
He just started off, and basically the backstory why he's a fire soldier is that his whole family, this isn't a spoiler because they talk about it in like
First
5 minutes,
episode, yeah.
but his whole family died in a fire, and he saw this demon. He's like, I want to stop that demon, so I'm going to become a fire soldier. And now he's got this nervous quirk where he smiles like a devil.
Yeah, whenever he is
nervous. And he's nervous apparently
all
24/7. Completely. I don't know why. If I had main character syndrome, I would be nervous. I would just be the best, which I guess I am.
True.
The best. Thank you.
So, before we go ahead and talk a little bit more about this, if you'd like to find this on your own, you can find it on Hulu. You can find it through Funimation or through Crunchyroll. And I know that Crunchyroll does have like dubbed in several different languages. So.
And we're not sponsored by any of these places, but we watch it on Hulu ourselves. But that's where you can find them all. I think Crunchyroll, you're right, like that has multiple different languages. We watched it dubbed, but there is a sub version, of course. You prefer that too. So if you want to check out before we go into too much, but that's where you can look it up there. Cool. So that's the general plot. They fight fire with fire, which I was like, what? But then it's actually pretty cool. Just to go through the characters. So we mentioned the first one, which is Shinra. So how would you describe Shinra?
Shinra's just a really good guy. He also wants to be a really good guy. Like, it's part of his thing is like, oh, I want to be a hero. That's something he mentions first off.
He's like, I'm the guy that kicks you in the face, man.
Yeah, he makes up a bunch of different names for himself based on whatever he's doing right then. But yeah, so overall, I really like him. I think that he's got a really good heart, and I think he's a good main character.
Yeah, he's got flaws, though, and he's not super overpowered. But it's like you can tell there's a distinct difference between the second generations and the third, which he is.
Right.
And another third generation, which I want to talk about, is Arthur, which is like the second newbie to join the force. It's Shinra, then Arthur. And Arthur is a complete idiot.
He likes to think that he's like actually like Arthur from like the legends, like King Arthur.
Yeah.
And he wants to be a knight.
And basically, if you feed his delusions, he gets stronger. And I'm not gonna go on. Basically, like he's very, very dumb all the time.
So dumb.
I think one episode ends where he's lost and they have to spit out a.
But he's also like a good character. Like you like him because he's
enjoyable.
He's so dumb that you just enjoy it.
Yeah. And he's also like, I think him and Shinra have a little bit of a rivalry, but it kind of like helps them both out because they need something to motivate them to get stronger and stronger. So,
right.
Who else is on the Fire Force is Maki.
Maki, yep, she's a second generation.
Yeah. So she has Sputter and other Flutter.
Something, yeah.
Yeah,
Sputter and
two
something.
little fireballs, basically.
And she makes them out of like different fires, and she can manipulate it pretty cool. She also is like, she's like a really tough woman, but she likes to
Jack is the word. Everyone's a tough woman. Well, every woman's a tough woman.
I'm just saying, like, she's really strong, independent woman, but at the same time, she really wants to be like one of those like flowery, like little like helpless women that like people save, but she's also like super amazing.
So she has a lot of like what did he call it? Not confidence, but like she says, like, if anyone says anything about her being tough, she's like, I'm not a gorilla. Yeah. And exaggerates that. But so she's a fun character. We'll go to her like later, but Obi,
yeah, the captain.
He doesn't have any firepower. He was just like a regular fire dude.
Yeah,
And so
fighter.
he's like with all these superpowered people, but he's like, no, I'm gonna lead a fire team and punch fires to death. Which, you know, like, that's why I asked the question earlier. How do you put out a fire? He apparently tried the water tactic. It didn't work. Didn't work. There's not water kinetics. They're pyrokinetics.
So he has to like put on like a bunch of different gear so he's not affected by the fire, but he's still pretty amazing. He does really good for not having any
He's
abilities.
very, very tough guy, and he's always working out, which, I mean, I wish I could do that. But and then Takahisha?
Yes, Takahisha.
Is he the lieutenant?
Takahisa is yes, the lieutenant.
Yeah, and with
he's awesome too. I like him, and he has like the staring eyes where he just like, he looks like he's mad at you all the time.
This whole episode can get into the eyes if we want to go there.
Well, I'm sure we will.
We're gonna go there. Well, not yet though, but yes, his eyes are. He's always like, yes, I volunteered at the community center, and it's like, did you stab them when you were at the community center too? Like.
And yeah, he's also a second generation, so he's got some cool powers.
He's got the power of the gun, which I think in America.
He was like Takahisa with the gun, which, instead of.
I mean, who needs a superpower if you've got a gun? God bless America. Anyways, moving on. We got Tamaki, who makes the entire show not suitable for children.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's definitely where the fan service is.
The etchy.
Yeah.
So she'll be in random situations and her clothes will just fall off.
It makes no sense. Also, how this happens, like you literally like plans away and then it comes back and you're just like, how did what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I think that's. I'm not gonna go into her plot, but that's why like so many bad things happen to her. And then we got Victor. You know Victor? I don't remember Victor at all.
Victor is the...
He's not a memorable character.
Sorry, it's because he comes in toward the end. He's the one that's like the crazy scientist dude, isn't he?
Oh, is that... Oh, yeah. He's got a very famous voice actor. He's kind of sketchy, but so far he's been net positive, even though, because he's helped like unleash the science potential of their team, because their company in general is a newer one, so they're still kind of gathering people. That's why they just hired 2 new people, and they're like, all right, newbies, you're going to be in charge of everything. That's what I would do. I hire people, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to go grab a snack. You got this whole thing later. Like, it's kind of the vibe there. Then there's Joker that we bring up here. So Joker is kind of we don't know his plan. We don't know.
Yeah, he seems like a bad guy, but... We don't totally know.
He's been doing good things. I don't know. He's got a smoking problem.
He's got weird swirls in his eyes.
Well, we can get into the eyes thing, but there's a lot of characters, by the way, in the show. It's one of those shows like Bleach or Naruto where it's got like 8 units or whatever. And so you've got the 8 teams you got to work through. And then obviously those people have to have antagonists to match them. They can't be like, all right, the good guys, there's 200 and 2 bad guys. Like, you have to equal that. That's why there's so many characters. So there's a lot. It seems
like we're going over a lot of characters, but they're all usually pretty prevalent to the plots. So
Vulcan is another great character. He's like their engineer. He comes in later, but I like him a lot. He's got red hair, so he's significant.
But so does Victor.
And they're both significant. Yeah. No, Victor doesn't have. He's an afro, doesn't he? Well, anyways, if you watch it, you can correct us in the comments below.
Yeah, you can. I thought Victor had red hair.
Whatever. Anyways, then there's... Well, I mean, do we want to get into these characters here? I think we can skip to... We don't want to spoil that yet.
We'll bring them up later.
Yeah. I'm reading a paper, by the way. I'm not just staring at my pants and just reading off of that. So
we tried to mark them on pants first, and I said, wait, we can use a piece of paper.
That was pretty expensive. It's a $70 script.
Yeah, so recommend paper over
Recommend
pants.
paper over pants. Who knew? Benny Maru is a cool character. He's captain of another fire force. He's like a mentor type to the new folks. Another eye thing. I don't, he's got the X and O.
Yeah.
Yeah, tic-tac-toe. I'm sure he always sees the
Maybe it's hugs and kisses. I mean, he's
I
not a hugs and kisses kind of guy.
People talk with their eyes sometimes, but that's a little bit. If you know him, it's not matching his character. Lisa. We should have talked about this person first, isn't that?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I made this list, and I was just listing people as I was thinking of them,
that's
okay?
Fair. Anyone not on this list is
We also missed Iris, and she's part of the main group, and she's the priest.
Who's Lisa? Oh my God. No, I'm not going to talk about Lisa right now. Iris is the priest. You've got to have your fire Christ in all things. Or soul.
Yeah, I mean, they say the prayer when they kill the person.
I feel like that's nice, but if it's a fire demon, just punch me. I don't need you to pray for me. Because they basically, anytime they fight a fire thing, they're like, may the fire extinguish your soul and you burn to heaven. And I'm just like, oh, demon, kill me. Like, I would be that way. Yeah. I mean, that's just my thoughts.
Just stop and get on with it.
I mean, why you let me suffer? Like, I don't need this. Hibana,
she's,
we could just talk about their eyes. I feel like that would be enough of this character. Because her eyes are pluses and hearts.
I thought they were like flowers.
They were flowers. Yes, they're flowers. And see, there's so much in these eyes. I don't understand.
Okay, well, I guess then do we want to talk about the eyes?
Well, we could. Animation is a bullet point. So sure, let's go into the eyes real quick. So this show has the craziest eyes I've ever seen.
So if you don't like those animes that have like the weird physical traits this one will bother you.
I mean, it's not like, I guess it's, I was going to say not physical traits.
They've got like different colored hairs.
They do, but that's fine though. You can dye hair.
The sharp teeth that Shinra has.
Yeah. Meals must be weird for that guy. Is he a carnivore? Anyways. But yeah, so to go through the eyes. They get powered up. Every time they get powered up, their eyes turn purple.
Or they glow.
They glow.
Arthur's, I think, is blue.
Oh yeah, his are blue. So he's got blue eyes.
So when they power up, something happens with their eyes. Either they glow or they change. And like some of these characters that have the flowers and XOs, like it goes a little overboard.
Into OXs and other flowers. Not really, but anyways, I thought that was interesting. So it's something like while you're watching the animation, which is honestly really good. Like, I think they did a fantastic job. We're not going to talk about this anime, but if you ever watch Black Clover, I just call those fight scenes the creation of cubes. Because every time they hit like a wall, it's like cubes, like perfect cubes. But that doesn't happen here. Things actually break organically. I think this is a newer anime, if I'm not mistaken, too. So they definitely have the budget for something.
I do know, for those of you who like Soul Eater, this is by the same person who drew and wrote Soul Eater, so if that might also interest you as well. And it's a very similar art style, but you can definitely tell it's a little bit newer animation for it.
Yeah, so I think it's very clean. I can be very critical. I think this is one of those animes that you can watch way down the road and be like, oh, did this come out like last year versus like, I don't know, like what's the name of the... I'm not going to bash anything right now, but anyways, that's something. So I did like the animation, the art style. So it'll be appealing to your eyes to look into their eyes
as they're going crazy,
and then punching the other guys, maybe in his eyes. You don't know. You'll have to watch the show. But speaking of things that would ruin the show, we are now going to talk about spoilers. Where did you put the time thing before?
I put it as a chapter on the bar, so you can just skip over to the next time if you don't want spoilers.
I'll give you a minute.
A whole minute?
Not like a whole, like it's a phrase. You do, how many people like minute?
Wouldn't you say I'll give you a second?
Well, that would be really quick.
Give you a moment?
No, a moment is like a second. Are there different definitions of time?
I don't know. I was just saying different phrases.
I guess you're kind of taking on literal. Anyways, if you haven't skipped by now, we're going to talk about spoilers. So, Shinra's family burned to death. Lies! His brother is alive. And...
He's just getting to the main spoiler of everything. Okay.
Yeah. It's not really. They talk about it like episode 5. Remember? So Joker slips. He's like, your brother's probably still being your brother somewhere.
Yeah, and he's also evil.
If you're kidnapped as a baby, you are default taught evil.
So there's this group the evangelist or something?
They work for the evangelist.
Okay,
They're the white cloaks under the evangelist.
And he's like one of the main
like
captain dudes, isn't he?
No. We have only seen. Okay, you do see the evangelist, but it's basically this woman that's wearing a.
No, Show's like the main captain dude in that.
Sorry, Show is like a captain under the evangelist.
Yes.
So he leads like a unit of her organization, her religious cult. So they're trying to gather special pyrokinetics that are the I forgot what they're, flux capacitor people.
Flux capacitor. They've got like some special flame.
The flame of soul. I'm just gonna call it that. So, anyways,
don't remember the term.
It basically is a special power that lets them like do special things. Like for example, Shinra's brother, can stop time. Or he like slows down the universe.
Yeah, heats up the universe so it slows down.
And Shinra can go faster than the universe.
Yeah, he can like break himself apart and re-put it back together.
These are like super people beyond the third generation pyrokinetics. So they're gathering those to do something super evil, which we don't know yet because.
And we do know that they basically want to like destroy humanity and take them all into the sun. Or
they want to like burn them all down. So let's make a force made of other people that are good at fire.
To burn everybody.
Burn it back.
Burn it down.
You burn me, I'll burn you back.
Themselves,
Game of burn sorry.
My thing is like, why don't they just start with themselves then, and then they won't have to
worry
about it.
I just feel like you're not. If you just start with yourself, I guess like self-fulfilling prophecy, or because they have to burn the other people first, right? Are they going to burn themselves after?
Well, I'm just saying is that if you think that humanity should be burned, why are you still there? I mean, obviously you're part of the problem.
Part of humanity. Which is, so self-reflection, evil people. If you're going to destroy the world, where do you live? The world. Unless you got a secret moon base. That's what I would do. Guess, yeah. So, anyway, so they're trying to stop the White Clads from doing evil stuff. We're only reviewing the first season.
Yes.
So this is the first season is kind of discovering the enemy, discovering the source of the human combustion, so why people are just lighting on fire. So the truth is, sometimes it is random. Other times they're actually trying to power up people, like the White Cloaks are using those bugs.
This season is also all about gathering Shinra's harem.
Yes, it's true.
Because Shinra is not even trying at all to make a harem, but it seems like everybody is in this harem.
We've got Iris.
He's got Iris.
Oh, I missed Iris. You did put Iris.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, so I missed her. Yeah. Okay, whatever. Anyways.
But we've got Hibana's the first one.
Hibana's definitely the first one. She is lace smitten.
Technically, I feel like Tamaki is a little bit in it.
she's in everyone's harem.
Because she just, especially around him, just somehow puts clothes off every time.
Why did she lose all of her clothes putting on an apron?
Why?
It goes over your clothes.
My question is, why does she only wear a bikini under her fire suit? Why doesn't she wear real clothes?
I don't know.
And then we also have a little bit of like Benihara, like even though it's like not like a romantic thing, but like he's still like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go help Shinra because Shinra's like was cool to me.
Benimaru?
Benimara.
Benimaru.
Yeah. Sorry.
But that.
Either way.
All right.
Sorry.
So
the captain.
Yeah, everyone loves him. Basically, Obi the captain sends their newest member to every force and says, "Shinra, work your magic, Shinra." That's how he talks. I did it perfectly. Watch the anime, you'll see. Do it, Shinra. And so he talks to him, and he's like, "Hey, I'm super fights makes friend man." And they're like, "Well, you seem like a pretty cool guy. I think we'll be your friend, man."
He like does something that he's like, "I'm gonna save you," or "I'm gonna save this person." And then they're like, "You're awesome.
You're awesome.
I'm on your team.
Your
now.
team. Go team Shinra."
Everybody just suddenly is like, now
it's like
we're
collect
Shinra's
them all.
best. Yeah, exactly.
Like go to every captain, collect their badge, and like, I got the badge for the
yeah.
So all of a sudden came in Pokemon analogy. But anyways, so that's what he does. It's all over the place, but that's why we always recommend to watch the animes and form your own opinion as well as our opinion.
So that way then you can comment below and say what you think.
And contradict us. I love a challenge.
Or agree with us, either one. I would hope at least somebody would agree
with
us.
There's got to be somebody, because we're the right opinion.
I don't know about that. I think that's a little subjective.
I'm kidding. Everyone can make their own opinion there. So, any other...
You just might judge you for it.
Any other spoilers you want to call out before we move on to our end thoughts?
Is there anything else that's big that happened?
I mean, they gather the team. This season is about gathering the team, figuring out the evil, and then, like, pushing through. Because it ends pretty cliffhangery. It's not like, well, I watched one season of Fire Force, I'm done.
Done, yeah.
Like, there's, like, every plot open.
And I know that there's supposed to also be a season 3 coming out soon, so...
We're on season... We're going to do season 2.
So we've got a ways to go.
Yeah.
So I think that's it.
Cool. So, ending thoughts here. Recommendations. Do we recommend it? Because I think we're going to have a consensus on this.
I definitely say I recommend it.
I do too.
I definitely feel like when I first was watching it, I wasn't really sure about it. But I think after the second episode or whatever, I got pretty into it. I was pretty much like, yeah, I'm really enjoying this. And as it gets going and it gets more into the actual story, I think it just gets better and better.
Other than the eye animation, yeah. I think it's really... No, I think it's a great show. It's got great characters. Like, even the bad characters, I guess, if you're like, oh, Arthur's stupid, it's hilarious to watch.
Yeah, and then you're just like, what? How did this happen?
Yeah. I think we want to know more about the bad guys, so I'm excited to watch the next season to kind of figure out more of their plans, just like if they're just lighting everyone up fire. But yeah, no, I think I recommend it. So, Amy, what rating would you give it?
I would say I give it an 8 out of 10.
I would give it a 97.5 degrees Fahrenheit, because this is America, out of 10.
So, I guess you really liked it.
It's an 8. It's just an 8.
Wait, that's an 8?
Yeah, that's the normal body temperature, an
Okay.
8. I think it's a good score. There's always room to improve. Maybe the next season will really light a fire under my soul. Or wherever you light.
I was wondering where he was going to go with this,
I didn't know where I was going either. Sometimes you just walk through the door, sometimes you hit the door. Sometimes the glass door. You can't see it. I feel like a crow, like, boom. But anyways, so...
Anyway, I guess we say check it out. We've told you where, so you can go ahead and do that.
Crunchyroll, Funimation, those fun places.
And then you can be wonderful and subscribe to us and give us a like because we did such a great review. Something
about the algorithm. You know, I always watch shows like, what about the algorithm? I don't know math very well, all right? I use a calculator. You know, I'm not in high school.
I'm pretty sure everybody uses a calculator.
So help us out with math and like the video. So, but anyways, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you watching the show. And we'll catch you next time.
We'll see you soon.
Take care.